So, Tej, I just want to ask you that this kickoff mission, uh, how was it as a mission and how this is a vision right now for you?
Well, it's been brewing for quite a while,
Yes.
but this time when we went to Assam to celebrate the kickoff there, the reception that we got from everybody, including the authorities and everybody, was like it's like oh, okay, it's like we're accepted,
Right.
we're in, and that was like a big relief. What can I tell you? It's like, okay, we can have some fun now. We can actually do things and then grow. So I feel very happy.
You saw everybody that how much they are attached to the songs, to the livelihood of your dad. What do you really feel about that? I mean, I'm a fan of his like others, but what is your feeling seeing every one of us singing or reciting something or thinking about how they really felt with him in their childhood?
Well, I think it's like pretty profound occurrence. Socio-historically and everything. So one person's, it goes. It's like quite simply like a magical display as far as I'm concerned,
Right.
because suddenly, you know, I can look to my father's work to evolve myself, and at the same time, in so doing, hopefully, other people can also experience that freedom and joy that comes from honesty, from attention to detail, from manners, from good behavior, from not being prejudicial, learning to respect people. And so there's a big lesson for Indians and the world over from him, and we want to do everything we can to get that word out, through BHF, to art, music, you name it.
Yeah, yeah. We're here with the film director, Dave Benegalji. And Dave, we would love to hear that. I know that I understood that from your conversation that you knew him more than a lyricist, more than a singer. So, what is your real feeling right now being here present at the moment?
Thank you so much for this. Hi, folks. I'm Dave Benegal. Bhupenda, I've known from the time when I was a teenager, and I was very, very young and starting out in film. And there's so many things to talk about, but I think one of the most beautiful memories and what he did for me was to really connect the dots between New York, Bombay, and Calcutta. I met him in Calcutta when I was working on a documentary on Satyajit Ray, which was directed by Shyam Benegal. And Bhupenda was passionate about film, and I was passionate about music. And so there was this, wonderful kind of collision or confluence of us. I was very, very young. And one of my great memories is about him cooking prawn malai curry for me, which was his favorite, and got a photograph of him doing that. The other wonderful memory is that he would take me on these wonderful long walks in the streets of Bombay in Kolaba. And I discovered, and he showed me that, this is where life is, and this is the people that you have to be looking at. This is what your movies have to be about, that this is real life here. And of course, he would talk to me about New York, and that was the first. That was when he brought that idea, and I couldn't get that idea about New York, which is how I am here today. And I think he connected all these worlds. And there's this wonderful song which remains with me, Ami Ek Jajabor, and I think that kind of is emblematic of my kind of continuous wandering and discovering and exploring. But most of all is this absolutely wonderful song which he sang, and I'm going to. It's not translated really well, but it's so beautiful and poetic, where he says, "I've traveled all over the world. I've seen the entire world, but Assam for me has got everything. It's where life is." And I think that idea of being completely rooted in your world and yet writing this music which crosses borders, crosses people, touches your heart, and the idea of art as a form of resistance, which is what he gave to me, and which I found in my new film, which I've just finished, which is called Everything Is Not Okay. And it's about an American artist who's living here, and it's about the role of art as a form of resistance in life today. So I think in so many ways, he comes back to me both in terms of music, in terms of movies, and most importantly, in terms of life and love.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Dave. But Tej, I just want to ask you, I know that you have so many favorite songs from your dad, but which one's really close to you?
Right now, I've been working on 3 songs to perform today,
Oh, wow.
and in Assamese, I might say you'll miss it. But Modarore Fool is right now my top favorite.
Right now, I'm with Sage Hazarika, and of course, the grandson of Dr. Bhupen Hazarika. Sage, you were just explaining that being here, born here, and nowadays you are going to Assam and seeing those connections, right? And you were learning new things about your grandpa, about your dad. I mean, of course, you had a lot of things from your dad. So, which one is really like, touched your soul?
Uh, the things that have touched my soul about my grandfather is, I think, learning about all of the places that and all of the ways he just felt comfortable wherever he was. It's something that um, I see in myself. I love to travel, and I like experiencing new places, and to know that that's something that spans multiple generations is really special to me. And really, I'm looking forward to, in my future travels, kind of re seeing the world through his eyes, and through obviously using his songs and his writings and his speech to find those next places that I wanted to experience. But really, I said this before in our program, that I'm really excited about spending more time in Assam, and seeing more of the cultures and the places and the people that you know that gave him his foundational belief system.
Absolutely. So this is the kickoff event. So what is the future plan?
There, I think right now, I'm looking forward to seeing what else will be happening in India, and in the state of Assam. I'm planning on visiting again, especially in when it's a little quieter. Maybe there are not as many like big things happening, so I can spend more time with my family and friends out there. And also, um, what we are doing, as an organization based in New York, is to bring more attention to the culture that my grandfather included in his art form and in his songs, and making sure that people who are making art and educating people understand how his musical ideas still have a lot of relevance today. And I think education is a really good place to start with that. There's a wonderful school outside of Guwahati, I believe in Pamoy, called the Akshar Foundation. and they work with local kids, and they have traditional academic education, they have vocational education, but they also have cultural components, and they foster such great talents that they see in their students. The last time I visited, we got to see students who were studying traditional dance, who were singing my grandfather's songs, and then also we had kind of a musical demonstration where I talked about music production with them and was able to collaborate with some of the students, a drummer, a singer, and we had a lot of fun like that. And also the staff and the people running the Akshar Foundation and the school are so dedicated and talented themselves that I think there's a lot of great work that we can do to bring more eyes to that group.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us. I mean, you heard him. So the future is actually we cannot see, but they have a plan, and the plan is so beautiful because this is with kids, this is with knowledge, and that is the power I think for everything, and of course with music. So thank you so much for being here with us, Sage, and it was nice meeting you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mitra Kolita. I am the co-founder of Epicenter NYC. We're a community media platform based in Queens, and I also run URL Media, which is a national network of community serving media organizations across the country. I am a lifelong friend of Bhupen Hazarika, his son Tej, and his grandson Tej Hazarika, so I'm honored to be here. My father was a very close friend of Bhupen Hazarika, so the two of them met in the 1970s in New York City, and then our homes between Long Island and ultimately New Jersey, Princeton, New Jersey, is where Bhupen Hazarika would spend his time in between performances and just when he needed a base in the United States. So I feel very fortunate that we had an intimate relationship with someone who is, world renowned. But when he was home and in our home, he was very familiar and a friend and deep intellectual. And so I kind of look at my life and the way that it turned out, and I feel like it's not a coincidence that many of the themes in his songs about human rights and civil rights and the environment and lifelong love for Assam and the role of our family and our place in the world and kind of the search for ourselves all throughout our lives. I mean, really, there is not a song that I listen to and I don't think about how profound and universal the lyrics are. I don't know that I appreciated that as a child. I just thought of him as a nice person who was staying in our home and someone who loved to explore and eat out and listen to music, and we would go to movies together and appreciate arts and culture. But I look, of course, at his body of work now, even as I've grown up and aged in a completely different light. And then the last thing I just say is that I'm so grateful that in Assam we have, even in his death, we have an ambassador for our people and our culture and how unique and special it is. And so today, in this celebration and kind of a kickoff to the centenary celebrations of Dr. Bhupen Hazarika in the US, being here in New York City has been really special. But I also think the universality of that message has been so special that it's a group of us who are familiar with his work, but we see the application of it to so many aspects of our lives and society today.
Hello, I'm Partha Gogoi from Northern Virginia, a suburb of Washington, D.C. I originally was born and raised in Meghalaya, grew up in a bit in Assam and Meghalaya. And I first saw Bhupen Hazarika in Jamshedpur. This is December 12th, 1993. That winter when he showed up in town. I've never seen him in my life before, but it was a significant experience for me in getting to see a legend. And many years later, I see him back here again in the Assam convention in 2000, here in New Jersey, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. For me, knowing Tej since 2005-06, we worked on a couple of things. It was exciting for me because he's such a nice guy. helps people around working on social causes. And the key part is, we worked together on a project which put the Assamese gamusa into space. So Mike Finke took it to space, and that was part of one of our efforts. But he's also involved at the grassroots, helping many people. So all I can say, it's been a great experience for me. And when Tej brought this event up, I said yes, I'll support it fully. And I was happy to drive 250 miles just for this cause. Thank you so much.
So I'm here with Nitin right now, and Nitin, what you're doing is really fantastic. Like you are like promoting the artists every week, new artists, I can say. So please let us know that what you feel about today being here at the 100 year of Centennial anniversary, the birth anniversary of Dr. Hazarika, and of course, as an artist, what's your feeling?
So yeah, as an artist and celebrating an artist, and also being like in community with the Assamese community for so long, because of my wife and her family and their connection to Bhupen Hazarika, being a collaborator with his family, his son, and his grandson, who are here today, obviously. It's just like, it's a rewarding thing, but it's also like a very natural connection that we have. I guess it transcends language. It transcends any sort of cultural boundaries, and I feel like New York is like the right place for something like this to happen, because it's like it's really one of the most inclusive and international places on the planet, and also coming from Queens and Jackson Heights, which is where I live now, and also where I do a lot of art projects, and where Epicenter is based, is actually technically the most diverse zip code on the planet. And there are 167 languages are spoken there. And also when my wife's father first came to this country, who was, like you heard, a close friend of Bhupen Hazarika, he lived in an apartment in Jackson Heights in the 70s. And so living in the same neighborhood now, and just thinking about that sort of history is pretty mind-blowing, I guess, in a way.
So touchy. And here is Ben with me, and Ben has a different story. So we would love to hear that how you got attached with Tej.
Sure. So my mother is Marie Friquignon, and she's a longtime friend and collaborator with Tej through Cool Grove Press. He's published some of her books. She's a philosopher of Buddhism and a scholar of Tibetan Buddhism, mostly. And I'm here mostly representing her. But this is just a wonderful event. I love learning so much about Bhupen Hazarika, who I did not know very much about beforehand, but he's obviously just a gigantic figure. So I love learning about him here and learning about Assam and the richness of his work, and just hearing everyone sing and seeing all the dancing and everything. I feel very grateful that I've had the opportunity to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.